when it comes to a murder of a beloved friend, you do not lie, okay?
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're continuing our YouTube Spotlight series where we highlight our favorite creators. In this installment, we'll be looking at chilling murderers featured on the popular true crime YouTube channel, Explore With Us. If you're not familiar with this channel, Explore With Us is known for exploring fascinating and downright bone-chilling criminal cases. Through thoughtful expert analysis of police interrogation videos and crime scene photos, this channel takes viewers on an uncomfortable journey through the minds of criminal perpetrators. EWC enlists psychologists, criminal profilers, lawyers, and even body language experts to provide their unique perspective on each case. So if true crime is your beat, then this list is for you.
And the lot number indicates you as the sole owner since 1999. And
there you go. Say that again.
The sole owner since 1999.
Okay. We're done.
Samantha Wohlford.
He's trying to accuse me of something?
No. Her story immediately falls apart here.
This young mother of 5 not only killed her husband, but staged an elaborate hoax to make herself look like a victim as well. EWU shows footage of Wolford lying to 911 operators and police, trying her hardest to come off as though she had undergone a terrible trauma. During her interrogation, Wolford, who created YouTube videos prior to the incident, explains in great detail what these supposed men did to her family, punctuating the dramatic kidnapping account with lots of fake crying and theatrics.
I'm a little vain, I guess.
In reality, these men were her own accomplices in a conspiracy to do away with her husband. It's clear from Wolford's quote-unquote heartbreaking account that she considers herself a born actress. But we beg to differ.
You know what I think? I think it's not going to be long. I think they're locking your butt up, what I think. I think you've been lying to me this whole time. You did get them right. I think you're a liar, what I think.
Jeffrey Hazelwood.
What do you mean? Don't get to go.
What is it?
It was a gun.
Okay.
This profoundly troubled individual shocked the community of Roswell, Georgia, when he killed a teenage couple outside of a Publix grocery store. That said, it's evident in this EWU documentary that Hazelwood wasn't proud of this horrific act. Rather, he acts scared and almost childlike, spending the entire interrogation in a state of hysteria.
I was scared to say something. It was awful. It was covered in blood.
Okay.
Although he does present false claims to investigators, it's hard to tell whether he's being intentionally deceptive or just so far removed from reality that he's contradicting himself. You might argue that Hazelwood's case is more chilling than others on this list because of the fact that he seems so disconnected from his own crime.
So some invisible person shot them while you were walking towards them. Why'd you need to wear a mask?
Dakota Wall.
Can you tell me about your and Sydney's relationship?
Well, we got along great till puberty.
This gut-wrenching video details the death of 15-year-old Sydney Stevens. In 2010, Stevens was murdered by a gang of Pinckneyville, Illinois boys who called themselves the P-Town Saints. But there's an additional player that no one would suspect: Sydney's older half-sister, Dakota Wall. While Wall didn't directly take Stevens' life, she played an essential role in the events.
Why did he want her killed?
He ordered.
Why did he want her killed?
I don't know. Did he?
Why did he want her killed?
I didn't even know that he wanted her killed.
Answer my question, Dakota.
Wall purposefully left a patio door open so the gang, which included her boyfriend Chad Bennett, could ostensibly scare Sydney. However, they did far more than just frighten the poor teen, whose body was found in a creek 6 days later. Watching Wall feign innocence and display a lack of empathy for her sister is nothing short of terrifying.
Let's get over the hump and let's talk about this door. Let's get this door out once and for all. You hear me? Once and for all. What did you do to that door?
Michael Parks.
If the police do suspect Michael, the choice of a soft room could then be an attempt to put him at ease.
On August 20th, 2020, Michael Parks called 911 to report his wife, Hope, missing. As it turns out, someone had killed and beheaded Hope before dangling her body off the Sugar Creek Bridge. And it gets worse from there.
I do have anger issues, but I take medication for it. But I've never done anything.
When questioned by law enforcement, Parks weaves a crude story about accidentally shooting his wife in the midst of a heated argument.
I went in the house. I was going to clean the gun. I sat at the kitchen table. It went off. There was still one round in it. She hit the floor.
But police soon search his home to find signs of torture, in excess of blood, and, shockingly, a part of his wife in the basement. While it might be said that Parks' attempts to appear guiltless are humorlessly feeble, there's nothing funny about this revolting incident. Peter Keller. Despite his facade as a devoted husband, loving father, and passionate survival enthusiast, Peter Keller carried some very dark desires.
At least it'll be exciting. It won't be boring. And I don't have to worry about Lynette or Kayleen. And everything will be taken care of.
As described in this installment of EWU, Keller kept a video diary in which he cryptically alluded to a plan of some sort.
We haven't done part that I'm not looking forward to. I'm getting pretty close to that time.
As it turns out, his objectives had little to do with living off the fat of the land. In fact, he intended to shoot his wife and daughter, a goal he'd come to fulfill before taking his own life. Whatever went on in this seemingly happy man's mind that led him to inflict this dreadful fate upon his family, we'll never know.
Part of me has a hard time even imagining doing what I'm going to do. But as I think about it, I always come up to the same conclusion every time. I'm starting to get more okay with it.
Susan Monica.
Susan, we found a leg by your house.
This is a case that's sure to chill you to the bone. That of Susan Monica, who slaughtered 2 of her farm employees and fed their remains to her pigs.
If my pigs did eat Robert, would you kill my pigs?
Well, I don't know. That's something we'd have to look at.
Throughout the 3-hour EWU documentary focusing on the murders, Monica shows a remarkable lack of emotion. Her stony demeanor is accompanied by a distinct arrogance and holier-than-thou attitude. She adjusts her accounts of what happened to both men as the investigation continues, claiming one took his own life and the other was attacked by her pigs, among other versions. Disturbingly, Monica seems wholly confident in the lies she's telling, and her effect remains flat throughout.
I did not feel guilty about committing murder in either case.
Antonio Barbeau and Nathan Pop.
Okay, so what did you have that you attacked your great-grandma with?
It was like an axe-looking thing.
In this particularly nightmarish story, a peaceful 78-year-old woman lost her life to 2 13-year-old delinquents. But it gets worse. One of the boys, Antonio Tino Barbeau, was her own great-grandson. Barbeau and his friend attacked the elderly lady to death before stealing a marginal amount of money from her home.
The note that Nathan had written, the note that would send chills down the spines of seasoned detectives.
As can be seen in this EWU video, the law caught up to the 2 teens only a few days later. Both skirt around the very grave matter and try to deny any involvement in what happened to Barbara Olson, and each boy accuses the other of being the ringleader.
Here he's insinuating that his friend Nathan was the ringleader and driving force behind this attack. This could be entirely true, or he could be attempting to pass some of the blame off to his friend.
But in the end, investigators are able to see right through them. Matthew Hoffman.
Finally, after sitting in silence and almost completely unresponsive for over 4 hours, Matthew cracks.
I can't say anything because I don't know.
The 2010 killings of Tina Herman, her son Cody Maynard, and her friend Stephanie Sprang rattled the town of Howard, Ohio. Behind the deaths was Matthew Hoffman, who also kidnapped and assaulted Herman's daughter, Sarah.
I read about it. It doesn't directly address the problem. It's just powerful. It tranquilizers. I'll take it if I have to. I don't want to be a teacher.
Watching Hoffman's interrogation is unsettling. While he does make a half-hearted attempt to claim he found Sarah tied up in his house and tried to care for her, he is otherwise quite cooperative. At one point, Hoffman even invites investigators to cuff him again, as if he doesn't trust himself not to snap.
You can even put the ice on if you want.
This is one of the instances where a crippling psychosis seems more to blame than the perpetrator himself. Of course, it's difficult to tell whether Hoffman's remorse was genuine or an attempt to avoid more severe punishment. Brian Draper and Torey Adamcik.
According to Brian, when he met Tori, the boy started talking about how it would be cool to commit a crime, inspired by the Scream movie.
These 16-year-old movie buffs horrified the citizens of Pocatello, Idaho, when they killed their friend Cassie Jo Stoddart. Draper and Adamcik had previously planned to have Cassie star in a horror movie they wanted to make. Instead, they ambushed and stabbed her to death on a September night while she was house-sitting for family members.
We've got the masks that you used. We've got the videotape. We've got it. There's a tape up in there that you buried. Okay? Try to catch on fire. All that stuff.
As they're interviewed by law enforcement, the two boys predictably create a web of lies to keep police off their scent, including a false alibi about having been at the movies the night of Cassie's death. But working against them are the plethora of video recordings they made before and after the murder, wherein they announced their dark dreams of creating a real-life version of the horror classic, Scream.
In the end, Brian and Tori were each charged with 1 count of murder in the first degree and 1 count of conspiracy to commit murder in the first degree. They were tried as adults and convicted during separate trials.
Before we unveil our last name, here are some other disturbing, noteworthy entries. Seth Jackson's killers. Very young, very disturbed.
He's like, man, I want to go in a killer's pit. He's like, I just want to.
Cassandra Borge and Johnny Ryder. The girl who killed her grandparents with help from her boyfriend.
He was like, let's be Bonnie and Clyde.
You said that?
Yeah. I was like, okay.
Morgan Geyser and Anissa Wire of Slenderman proxy fame.
Are you going to put me in prison and I'm going to rot and die?
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Brian Koohe.
Yeah, I believe so.
And what would it be?
A human head and hands.
A lot of heartless people have been showcased on EWU, but possibly no one so cold and calculating as Koohe. The then 19-year-old was arrested for the gruesome murder of homeless 69-year-old Warren Barnes in 2021. The video follows his parents' realization that their son is a sociopath after his mother finds a part of Barnes in their home. Although he's first able to come off as innocent to officers, it's not long before he admits to killing Barnes.
3 weeks, the body is starting to seriously decompose. Right. 3 months, the body is unrecognizable. 3 years, it turns into a skeleton.
Not only that, but he seems proud of his actions, acting as though he's fulfilled a lifelong goal and proving he prepared extensively to pull off a homicide. Koohe was eventually sentenced to life in prison.
I'm not a serial killer by no means. But with serial killers, there's different types of them. There's organized, disorganized, visionary, missionary.
I'm just wondering what gets you excited about doing it?
Which EWU killer did you find the most frightening? Let us know in the comments.
It's not because we're not trying to give you time.
Yeah.
I feel like we've been trying to give you time, and it's not, we can't take years to give you time to remember things that happen.